I think that the music industry can learn a lot from this space, but I
Yeah.
think this space can learn a lot from the music industry and what we talked about earlier
Vice
in
versa,
terms
yeah.
of all of the value in looking at artists and looking at content creators in the way the music industry looks at artists in terms of looking at careers, valuing content, giving them support on their content is a huge lesson that could be learned from the music industry.
There's something that you alluded to, and I want to talk about it. I've never
Yeah.
really talked about it on the podcast
Yeah.
before, but people in the music business are starting to
Yeah.
kind of catch wind on this, and it's the
Yeah.
Clipper strategy.
Yeah.
Is that how a lot of these, well, first of all, can you explain to me what
Yeah.
clipping is?
Yeah, clipping is taking the very, very best moments that you can find in content, whether that content is long form YouTube, whether that's Twitch streams, whatever it is, those magic moments, the punchlines. If we're talking about, if we analogize this to a rap song, it's like all of the punchlines. That's things that makes everyone be like, oh shit, I can't believe he said that, right? Like those are clips.
Yeah.
And distributing clips across all of these short form channels, whether it's TikTok, whether it's YouTube Shorts, is become extraordinarily impactful, because the reality is like everybody wants their face to be seen nonstop. And what people have done is people have created clipping communities where you can actually take anything that you want clipped, whether it's a piece of a song and you want to put clipped in connection with a video, right? Or you want to clip a video, and you can literally incentivize communities of thousands of clippers
Yeah.
by paying them for every single view that their clips get.
Yeah.
And it's almost like it's like a workforce out there. And you can have, if you have access to those communities, which we do because we've built a lot of those communities, you can now have your clips everywhere. And it's not hey, give me some money and hopefully I'll get your stuff clipped. They don't get paid until the views come in.
Views come in.
Yeah, so you're literally
on a CPM model.
It's a CPM model,
Cost per
exactly.
million. Yeah.
That's right.
And how can you? So you said that you created some of these communities yourselves. So you guys have internal communities within Fixated.
Yeah.
Where do you find these communities if I don't have the magic touch from Fixated?
Yeah, I mean, it's almost impossible if I'm being candid. I mean, you can hire some people because they're starting to pop up as a service. I mean, for us, the way we were able to put it together is because, for us, it's a culture of, the most prized people at our company are 17, 18, and 19-year-olds that are in Discord communities who are literally at it and talking at 3 or 4 in the morning, 7 nights in a row, every single day. They're in these, X or Twitter Twitter pages. And there's corners of the internet that most people just don't get to touch. And those corners of the internet are where the creative leaders and the tech leaders live. And if you can earn the trust of those people, they'll bring in the next and the next and the next.
Mm-hmm.
And once you have that is your moat.
Sorry, you said when you earn the trust of those people, which people?
We're talking about those creators and those clippers and the people that actually understand where all of this is going and ultimately understand where the dollars can be found on the internet.
Gotcha. So you're basically bringing these campaigns over to these clippers and then on a constant basis, making sure that they're getting paid out.
Yeah.
And the more that, would you say that the more campaigns that you're bringing from higher profile, or is it just revenue, or is it budgets?
Yeah,
what is it a combination?
It's just a question of, number one, budgets, and number two, like what's going to be like easiest for them to be able to like make money from.
Get the views,
It's a business for them.
Yeah.
Yes, it should be.
So essentially, like in the music business, we have hit records.
Yeah.
For them, it's like a hit clip.
Correct.
If you're bringing them hit clips and you're bringing them money to go and distribute it,
that's right.
It's going to be easier for them.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such an interesting world. And I think like everything you're talking about right now, it's just the times that we're in, it's 2025, and I do feel like artists do have to start thinking about it this way.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it is, a lot of artists want to just stick to the music, and that's their right. I understand that, but I mean, there is a world over here that we do have to realize that there are other avenues to monetize, and that is the responsibility of the manager. I also think it's a responsibility of the record labels as well to like figure this out and like actually understand how can you provide value to these artists, because streaming is, sure, it can be lucrative, but it's a tough game.
Totally.
So there's so much that can be learned from the world that you're in right now, and I just find it incredibly fascinating, everything that you're talking about.
I think that the music industry can learn a lot from this space, but I think this space can learn a lot from the music industry and what we talked about earlier.
Vice versa,
in terms of all of the value in looking at artists and looking at content creators in the way the music industry looks at artists in terms of looking at careers, valuing content, giving them support on their content is a huge lesson that could be learned from the music industry, and the music industry can learn from the digital space of how to market and how to build audiences and how to incentivize marketing in a completely new way.
Totally. I manage an artist named Scratch Bassett. He kind of did this all intuitively himself during the pandemic. He tours all over the world, world renowned. He's in the same space as the DJ Jazzy Jeffs.
Yep.
Earns great revenue. Everything shut down. All of a sudden, started doing a Twitch stream. He's got something called Tuesday Morning Coffee. Created his own VIP subscription. It's not even on Patreon.
Yep.
It's his own service. He's got almost 500 people on there.
Amazing.
Subscription model is paying, $10
Yep.
a month.
Yeah.
Is real revenue. And he's thinking about this like a creator, but he is in the music space. And I remember when I first talked to him, I immediately was so drawn to all these other businesses that he was building.
Yeah.
And he was just thinking outside of the box.
Yeah.
And this is somebody that just continues to innovate and continues to try and figure it out.
Love it.
Yeah, it's amazing to see it. And honestly, by spending time with Scratch and even just doing the research and doing all of this, I started to just kind of think about exactly what you're saying. I'm like, there's ways to monetize in this business, and it's not just through, for me, like most people are asking me, but like, well, how do you monetize? I'm like, yeah, you can do the brands and the sponsorship and the AdSense, and sure, it adds up if you like getting millions of views, for sure. But there's so many different avenues. Like you could do IRL, you could do the meet and greets, you could do soft merchandise, you could do textile merchandise. There's so many different things that you could do. So
big time. Yeah, it's just a matter of your imagination, your creativity, and prioritizing the right things to focus on, for sure.